Tell me if this has happened to you. You are in the midst of videotaping or live streaming either on your phone or on a video camera, and then you realize that the lighting isn't as great as you thought it was, and you realize that there's some things that could have been done differently, but unfortunately, you are no longer at that location. The recording's done, and you can't really authentically recreate that experience. Well, I've come across a software that's absolutely positively something that would transform how you can enhance your video as well as your overlay. What is it? Let's talk a little bit more about it. Hello, my name is Darrin Woods, and welcome to today's episode of Darrin Teaches Tech, where we make technology easy to understand and easy to use. What am I talking about in terms of this software? Well, it's a software that's called Camo, Camo. And I'm going to be walking through today a number of different things. First of all, explaining what the software is, what it involves. I'm also going to talk about some use cases, areas that in situations where I've used this software and you could probably use it as well, and it would greatly benefit what you do. In addition to that, I'm going to walk through a few demos so you can get a feel for exactly how easy and intuitive this software integration is. All right. Again, let's talk about Camo software. It's absolutely positively free, although there is a pro version, but it really isn't, if you're beginning, worth the money in terms of paying for a monthly or annual cost. The free version will suffice for your basic video needs. And particularly what is fascinating for me is the number of different software compatibilities that the company has. The company is called specifically Reincubate, and you look at the software and download a copy of it at reincubate.com/camo. And you notice that there are a number of different versions of software available for multiple types of devices. You have, on the one hand, what's referred to and called by Camo, and that is for iPhones and Android-based phones. The other version is called Camo Studio, and that's because you can run it on Windows. You can also run it on Mac OS, and you can also run it on Microsoft. And basically, the Studio is the engine behind that drives the changes that you make on the fly, and then have that presented in your Android or Mac-based product. All right. So what are some use cases? What are some situations where this might be very, very helpful for you? Well, one of the things that I found to be of great benefit is actually using it to demonstrate and record this program. You're looking at, or I'm looking directly at a camera, and basically what I'm going to walk you through is how I can use the software on my Mac Mini in order to basically control different aspects of my phone. Now, this happens to be my Android phone, but I'm also going to be, for the purposes of today, using my iPhone just to show you the different nuances that you have here. So basically, it's a matter of using this software in order to bring in an additional or even multiple camera sources without great confusion or complexity. So let's take a look at the first demonstration, and this has to do with the ways in which I feel that this software really does help to enhance the quality of your video. As I mentioned earlier, I have the camera, and I'm looking directly at the camera. This is my Insta360 link, and you notice here on, I'm going to point my finger right over here, is my image for a 360 Insta camera, and then you see the same image right in front of you right here. And that's because it's operated under the same source. I'm actually, if you notice right here, my device is the Insta360 link, so that's actually covering what my two camera sources are. Now, the very first time you open Camo, what you'll do is you will actually um, click on the option here of let's see, where did it go here, of devices here. Now I'm going to click right here in the drop down menu, and right here where it says pair a device, that's what you would select if you are opening the software for the very first time. So on whatever phone or device you are actually going to do recording on, you need to download the software and basically pair it with the main computer. And so what I'm going to do right now is choose my iPhone, which is called Darrin's iPhone 2. And you notice a couple things here. So first of all, right here, okay, I'm going to look right here at this camera. This is my main camera. All right, this is my recording camera. But over here, all right, right over here, I'm gonna point over right here, this is my iPhone. And so my iPhone is being controlled by the Camo software. All right. All right. So let's do a little bit of a deeper dive into this and talk about some options you have available. And I'm going to, in the meantime, keep this Apple, this iPhone pointed in my direction, even though I have to look at my screen in order to see what's going on. All right. So up here on the top, right, you have the possibility of changing the image enhancements. And so if you're familiar with photography or videography, you have this concept called LUTs, L-U-T-S, and there's a filter here. And if you actually have LUTs, you can import a LUT. So basically, a LUT is a predetermined filter sequence that allows you to enhance the video that you have. So you can actually pull in any number of LUTs, if you will. But if you don't have any of those, that's okay. You can choose the gallery option here. And there are a few available options here on the free version here. And some of them may not make a significant change, but I'm going to click on a couple of them here. And you see there's some changes to the lighting here on my iPhone. Not as noticeable as is other changes that we're going to make. So I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to set this back to none. And over here, I'm going to minimize this right here. So over here you have image adjustments, and here's where you can get a little bit more detail in terms of the changes you may want to make. So I'm going to just play around with the saturation here. So I'm going to move this here. You notice that I kind of go into more colors here to the right and then fewer colors here, almost a monochrome, if you will. I'm going to go back here. You can also adjust the sharpness, the sensitivity, the hue, which is basically the colors that are more prominent in your camera view. And you notice there's some changes here. I'm going to go back here, there. So that's some changes that you can make, again, on the fly. Another area that you can look at is actually the presets. This is kind of cool. There are some predetermined color filters, video quality filters, if you will. I'm going to click the one that says mono. So now it changes. By the way, if you see a little bit of adjustment here, it's because my iPhone is adjusting as the images change here. So this is the mono version here, kind of a laid back, kind of reminds you of the 1930s or 40s silent movie look. And you also have some other saturation presets as well. So you can actually toy around with this in order to get the video quality that you want. But I'm going to go back to what the default is here. And I'm going to minimize this. All right. So one of the things, in addition to the video enhancement, is the ability to provide an overlay. So if you're looking on the video right below, right down here, this is an overlay. This is a graphic that sits virtually on top of the camera view. So this is an overlay that I've used and created in Ecamm Live. But With Camo, you have the best of both worlds because what you can do is, in this particular case, add your own overlay, and it is something that will be superimposed on the image that you have. All right, so what does this look like? If you look right over here, there is underneath the presets is overlays and watermarks, and I'm going to click this here, and you see a number of different things that are templates here. So I'm just going to click on this, and you'll see that there is an overlay which appears on the bottom of my screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look at the camera, and obviously I have some things in the background here, some of my polls for lighting, etc. But imagine you are live streaming or recording, and what you are actually doing is adding this overlay that's coming through Camo Software that has a professional look to that. All right. So to remove that from the preview, you can click this button right here. Oops. I'm going to click another one here actually, and you can remove that here, but oh, I know what happened. Okay, so these are some predetermined ones over here. Let me slide back over here. I was on the wrong monitor here. So you can click right here and it will remove this here. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to remove this screen. I'm going to pop this over here because I don't need to see that right now. All right. So that was the default. So you can actually edit that information by right-clicking any of the predetermined templates that you have, and then select duplicate. And at this particular point, when you double-click, you can then edit and the overlay, and this is what I love about it. So I'm just going to left click in here, John Appleseed. On the left hand side, these are the different layers of the graphics of the overlay that you see. On the right hand side, this is where you can type the information and change it. I'm going to say Darrin Woods, and I'm going to click here. I actually don't want that Twitter box. I'm going to remove that, and rather than have that, I'm going to select I'm going to actually type President and CEO, and I'm going to increase the length here. Boom, there you have it. So I'm going to look over here at this particular point. Let me click off of here just a second. Boom. All right, so now you see the overlay, which is virtually on top of the camera view for my iPhone right over here, and I'm controlling it from my desktop computer. All right, so that kind of gives you an idea in terms of bells and whistles, and you can add different images if you want to click out of this and go back to basically the home screen area. You can click there. I'm just going to increase the size here. So there are a number of different templates again that are here, and some that you can create absolutely from scratch. So that's a benefit of using Camo in order to provide overlays that will enhance your video recording even more. So hopefully this has given you an idea of really some of the use cases and benefits and ease of using Camo software in order to step up your video recording and video overlay game. Take care. Have a great day.